with us consciously. It's why, one of the many, many reasons why this is the absolute coolest time to be alive in the history of any place in the universe. Not just Earth, for sure. Any place in the universe. This is one of the coolest things that's happened. There are people that are here from distant places that are helping. I'd be an example of that. We are changing, and evil is going away. That is what we're going through. That's why so much focus and attention is now being placed on Balenciaga and stuff like that, which we will talk about today. Very interesting stuff around that right now. Very interesting information coming out around Balenciaga right now. Well, now Hungary's foreign minister is rejecting the U.S.'s interference, which is kind of funny, and I love the way he did it. I mean, it's really not a big story, but it does demonstrate, in my opinion, how certain countries are realizing the deep state does not have the power they once did. In my opinion, Hungary is basically putting their, flipping us off, essentially, which I say good on you, because I think right now we've got political leadership and leadership in this country that are absolutely criminal, and we have to get them out. Our country is the greatest country ever to be created. The current rulers and regime of our country are probably the most corrupt also that have ever lived on this planet. Maybe second only to China. We'll see. I think we're probably worse. Now, Budapest, in an interview with the U.S. political magazine Politico, the U.S. ambassador criticized that he was concerned when he saw rockets flying from Moscow to the playgrounds in Kiev, while Hungary's foreign minister flies to Moscow for live Facebook conferences from Gazprom headquarters. And I'm going to bastardize this poor guy's name, but whatever. He shouldn't have these many consonants sitting next to each other. If you guys can see this, Szijjarto. Oh my God, and there's accents. Oh, God, help, oh. Anyway, Szijjarto reacted by stating that as a Hungarian foreign minister, he could only look after Hungary's national interests. I understand that the U.S. ambassador assumes U.S. interests, but I am acting in Hungary's interests. Therefore, I think it is right that we do not comment on each other's steps on the basis of mutual respect. Basically, STFU, shut the F up, United States, it's none of your business. We're doing what's best for us. We don't give a crap what you think. And good on Hungary. They shouldn't give a crap what we think. That's part of this new world, folks. It is not going to be unipolar. It will be multipolar. It will be successful if you're asleep at the wheel. That much is true. I just want to point this picture out. This is very uncanny how much John G. Trump and Julian Assange look alike, isn't it? Am I wrong? There is so many factors of these two dudes. Again, there's people that look similar that aren't necessarily related, so it doesn't prove anything. But gosh golly, I mean, their lips, their noses are very similar. The eyes, I mean, it's uncanny. Uncanny. Now, Elon posted a very weird picture. There's people that have tried to break this down, and I don't know if it's true or not. It's called 1776 is Here, King Surrendered. I think that's one of the keys, this whole white flag and chest, the king surrendering. That's a big deal. Now, who's the king right now? I mean, it might be Charles. I don't know. I mean, it could be. I mean, when the queen died, and a lot of people were suspecting from the chess standpoint that meant her, the queen, being captured. So maybe Charles III, possible. Could represent Biden, which would be strange, or maybe Obama, the dude in the basement. Hard to say. But a few things they point out that are cool is, one, we got the picture of December 1776, the crossing of the Delaware, right? I probably got that wrong. I'm not a big history guy. But what they do fail to point out, that's a pretty legitimate fact that I frankly remember, is the boat they're on is a Durham boat. Which makes me think of John Durham, oddly, too. He's been quiet lately, hasn't he? Not sure what that means. Maybe he's just working on the report. Who knows? Who knows? Now, we do have a revolver 45 here, which very easily represents Trump and obviously the number 45. They're saying there's 3 and 1, 31. And Diet Coke, I think, is a big, one of Trump's favorite things, too, if I remember correctly. So they're adding that up. They're getting 76 or 1776, which, okay, you're adding the 17 in front of it, which would be also an interesting number, right? So maybe that's, I don't know if we have a Q thing in here anywhere, because that would fit the I would have fit the 17 number a little better. Maybe there's something in here that represents that. Whatever the case is, interesting thoughts. I don't know. You guys can kind of make up your own mind on that one. A lot of those there's so many of those things where they try to put all these numbers together in this post and post it at this time. It's like, man, you get lost in all that stuff. Now, some of them are probably accurate, don't get me wrong, but I think most of them are wrong. That's what we've come to find. There's some people that go to great lengths to put all that together, and to be wrong like 90% of the time gotta kind of suck. That all being said, new Twitter signups hit an all-time record despite cancel culture in full effect. Over 2 million new signups per day represent a 66% increase over the same time frame last year. Very interesting number, 66%. These are the latest figures by Elon Musk right now. So they're doing everything they can to shut down this company, yet it's not working. Now, it is interesting, and I've thought about this. I still kind of wonder. I was just telling that guy, Ron, that I work out with, I was just like, I just don't think Twitter's going to make it. And he thinks I'm out of my mind. This dude's like probably 80% sure I'm wrong. I end up being right a lot. I think I'm probably about 80% accurate. But he and I usually disagree with each other on a lot of things. That being said, this is very interesting. So Twitter, 66% increase, interesting number. They're also legitimately attacking Apple. We're going to talk about that in a second. Twitter suffers from a ridiculous number of psyops, Elon Musk is talking about. Huge number of psyops. A lot of weird posts that are meant to influence people emotionally, which is really a big part of what a psyop is. And there's what he's calling out. There's a huge number of these occurring. Now, we do have actually a couple examples of them. One of them came from Alexander Vindman. Takes a swipe at Elon Musk, and then people noticed something very interesting about Vindman. He says, I'll put my reputation up against yours any day. I've spent my entire adult life in service to my country, betraying my country. I don't know if you should have rewritten that. I don't know if you got the edit button yet there, bud. But he was replying to Elon Musk, and Musk then said, Vindman is both a puppet and a puppeteer. Question is who pulls his strings? And here's where people realized something's not right. Let's see if I can get this opened up. I can hopefully zoom in. Are they going to let me do this image? Yeah, kind of. So what the post was that they're making a big deal about is Vindman's words. Kind of weird that Elon Musk gets to decide how like 500 million people communicate. Way too much power for one erratic individual to wield, don't you think? And then we notice, wow, Lisa, Daniel Bell, Greta Crown, Alexander S. Vindman, Das Squirt, all said the exact verbatim same thing. What about T. Christ, Melon Usk, Mother Van, right? Everybody. The exact same thing. Puppeteer and the puppet master. Who's Vindman actually? Is Vindman controlling all these bots? And these are bots, folks. This is exactly what this is. These are bots. They're not part of Twitter. They're not internal to Twitter. They're external. Someone wrote an app, probably in C# or something else. Maybe Java at this point, JS, JavaScript, who knows? Maybe, who knows? Any number of things would work. And then they've got a whole bunch of different accounts saying, just spam out whatever the message is to as many of them as possible. This is how they get that echo chamber. This is how they get people to think, well, one, things are trending, but two, this is what everybody thinks. Now, not when it's verbatim. You guys got to get a little smarter on your program and switch it up a little bit. Now, things get even worse for Alyssa Milano after people realized what she's been sending Elon Musk. Alyssa Milano, by the way. Now, here's funny. This was forwarded from Jordan Sather. So we could go straight, pay 30%, or we could turn right and go to war. And here's Elon just going to war, right? And here's what they mean by that. Elon Musk says, did you know Apple puts a secret 30% tax on everything you buy through their app store? 30% tax. Apple's getting 30% of everything that happens on that platform. Now, many would say, oh, that's brilliant. That's great. That's fantastic. That's how Apple makes so much money. Yeah, it's also how they control things the way they do. That's how they've become one of the richest corporations on the planet, which is a little frightening. So Elon is lighting up Apple on Twitter today, almost begging them to deplatform his companies. If they did, you can bet Elon would antitrust lawsuit the S out of Apple. Tech wars. Grab your popcorn. Again, these games are playing out exactly as they must. And most of us tend to react when the things happen. So again, Twitter's probably, especially the Apple Store, is probably going to do something here at some point. They almost have to. They can't just let Musk run around doing what he's doing, and they're running out of options. And again, Musk has already said, he's like, if I have to, I'll create another phone too, but that takes time. So, like for all the people, I saw a whole bunch of headlines over the weekend. Musk says he's going to build a new phone. That's not quite what he said. He said if he had to, he would. He's not started it, none of that. Well, maybe. Maybe he has, who knows. It's possible. But still, I don't think he's that far along down that path just yet. Getting there, though. Rep. Adam Schiff says January 6th, Gazprom's apparently going to mothball the Nord Stream pipelines. His article's a little strange. It's like, well, we're going to do it, but not yet. I mean, we're talking about it, so whatever. Because it might be too hard to fix, might be too expensive to fix. They were talking about maybe taking the I don't want to say generators, but the pumps or whatever they are, and move them. But those pumps are very unique to this particular pipeline, and they wouldn't work elsewhere. And they were out of maintenance also, so they weren't not even that good of equipment to begin with right now as far as how bad the maintenance is. So, I don't know. Weird talk, story that doesn't say anything but kind of says something but doesn't say anything. There you go. Kiev mayor warns of potential evacuation. Now, I give this guy points. Basically telling his people, look, we're doing everything we can to make sure you got power, and they've done a pretty bang-up job from what I understand getting power back on for a majority of their people. It's fantastic. And they've also got a backup plan for the middle of winter. If, God forbid, there's horrible outages of power and people are essentially freezing, well, they've got evacuation plans drawn up so they can help maybe get people into safer places or places where they can control heating on a smaller scale and just get a bunch of people. And you got body heat as well as, maybe electric heaters of some kind or something like that they can actually guarantee power, or even diesel generators, whatever. So they've got a plan. And that's essentially what they're talking about in this article. Autonomous vehicles are joining the list of national security concerns. We're finally really starting to hear a lot more about China's plans, what they were going to do, how I think they were going to get themselves into the war with us and really be able to take us over. These things are failing all over the place now. We're kicking out their Huawei technology and all that. We're now talking about not letting their automated vehicles in here, which many were supposed to start pilot programs this year. And they're like, whoa, these things are here to spy on us. These things are here for bad reasons, probably. We don't trust China. We don't trust what they're doing. You're calling them basically Trojan horses. Not basically, it's exactly what they're calling them. So a lot of people are putting attention where it needs to be right now, I think, would be a good way to say that. New GOP report claims woke ideology is undermining the United States military. There can't be any question about that. This is ridiculous. Really is not a place where woke ideology should exist. For the tiny percentage of people that are transgender, not just the ones that change their sex on their minds every other day, really you want your military to be tough, and you don't want them like, stop it, you said something that hurt my feelings. Like, that's not what you want a military dude to say. You don't want a Marine crying and talking about how his feelings got hurt. No, not happening. No, please. Please, no. Thank you, no. I don't know how to say that, but hell no, it's not happening. Biden admin unable to account for $20 billion in aid to the Ukraine. I don't know what happened to it. Disappeared, I guess. I hear they got some sinkholes and stuff over there from those pesky Russians. Maybe the money fell into the sinkholes. Who knows? Yeah, they can't keep track of all this money that they keep laundering. And now it's gotten so bad so fast. Think about it. Like, you can't even go back a year, Biden. The war didn't start that long ago, homie. So you're telling me in 1 year's time that you've given them $70 billion total, or 70, 80 billion in aid and money, or however it breaks down. Yeah, now they got cash, literally about $20 billion in cash that they just can't figure out where it went. It's been laundered. We know that. FTX might have been part of that. They might have lost some of that in FTX. Maybe that's paying for the FTX dude's mom's house in the Bahamas. Who knows? Now, Biden being an absolute total tard and absolutely proving countless times that he hates the United States of America. Here's one more example, if you maybe didn't realize it. Biden then authorizes Chevron to resume oil pumping in Venezuela. Yeah, literally, Venezuela. We're going to, rather than pump it here and make money here and supply our own selves, we're going to go to another communist nation and give them money. It's insanity. United States senators are calling on the Defense Department to provide advanced drones to Ukraine. This seems very strange to me, very dangerous to me. Again, escalation without a doubt. The MQ-1C drone is a significant drone. It does have a Q in it, but whatever. I wouldn't get too carried away with that. That all being said, it's a long-range drone. It has some pretty exceptional technologies. I think it's slightly stealthy, too. I don't think it would necessarily not get shot down by Russian air defense, but well, Z, like OZ. That being said, lobbyists call on the U.S. government to develop digital ID infrastructure for security reasons. I just want to point out the crap companies that are pushing this. These are ones that we're supposed to think are looking out for our best interests, and they're obviously not. Trying to create a digital identity that they're claiming is going to make things more secure when it won't. It'll make it easier to steal people's identities because now your entire identity's tied up in the internets, right? That all being said, we've got Bank Policy Institute, Better Identity Coalition, BSA, the Software Alliance, College of Healthcare Information Management Executives, CHIME, I guess, Cybersecurity Coalition, Electronic Transactions Association, which is ETA, Identity Theft Resource Center, ITRC. These are the companies that, quote unquote, hide. It's kind of like the Clean Water Bill, right? They hide with these neat little names like, no, we care about Cybersecurity Coalition. But that's not. These are deep state companies that are trying to push their agenda, trying to push this digital ID, digital currency. This is the whole thing that China's doing. We don't want to do that, folks. You might like digital currency. That's great. Treat it as an asset. Put it out there and do and buy and sell and whatever the hell you want to do with it. Don't tie it to our banks. Don't tie it to our economy. Don't do that. It's another fiat currency. Why would we want to replace one fiat currency with another fiat currency? No. We want to get the deep state the hell out of here. We want to get the central banks the hell out of here. And we want to get treasury notes. We want to go back to making our own currency. And if we end up creating a U.S. digital dollar, I don't know. I'd still fight it because I don't like digital currencies. I don't like the fact that I can't go work under the table, that I can't maybe do something for my neighbor and maybe get a little bit of money, that they literally could shut off my ability to collect digital funds from people if they think my social credit score is not high enough. I absolutely don't like it, mainly because I know my social credit score already sucks. So yeah, it would suck for me. So, I put that out there. I'm very aware of that.